This is my review of chapter 19 of the Bleach manga. So start off in the corner, we see Ishin is kind of just dressed up, kind of plainly, wearing some proper stuff. And then we come into the actual manga chapter, and Karin is saying a prayer to their mother at her grave. And Ishin is just kind of goofing around and stuff. Rukia thinks about what Ichigo had said to her when she was kind of asking him if it's possible that Hollow's responsible for his mother's death. And she realizes that what she said was insensitive. And as she's lamenting that, Kon comes out of her backpack and tells her basically that he wants to leave, and she's telling him that they have to stay in case a Hollow shows up, and he kind of tells her the same thing that Ichigo told her, that she's too obsessed with Hollows. Ichigo thinks about Tatsuki asking him if he could see ghosts when he was a kid, and he said that he lied and he couldn't, because I believe it was said that the people in the neighborhood talked about it and he just didn't like the attention or something, and so he just started telling people he couldn't do it. I can't remember the exact wording. And then we get the chapter cover. It's a conglomeration of different pictures. We see Ichigo's mom, and we see he's in a coat, and we see some electrical towers and stuff. And then we come into Ichigo being a kid, and we see a truck go by and splash him with water. He's with his mom. She kind of wipes him and cleans him up, and they kind of talk about him being beat by Tatsuki, and he tells her that he managed to beat Tatsuki once. This is when they were a kid and they were doing martial arts and stuff, and that's why Ichigo can actually fight like hand to hand. Not that that helps in a sword fight, and I don't think the martial arts thing ever really becomes relevant in his like other fights either. Should have though. Kubo should have kept that in mind. And that'll be a criticism to come much later. He thinks about how his mother was the center of the family, and how she was always happy, and everyone was always happy being around her and stuff. And then we see that Ichigo saw a little girl near a river, and he runs toward her because from his perspective it looked like she was about to jump into the river. And he says at the time he couldn't tell ghosts apart from real people. And as he was getting close, his mom grabbed him and tries to protect him, and he kind of like lost consciousness or something. And when he woke up, he just saw his mom was dead laying on top of him. She was bleeding from her back, and he doesn't know what happened, but he knows that it was his fault that she died. So he blames himself for his mother's death and for destroying his whole family and stuff. Yuzu's crying, and Karin is trying to get her to stop crying and cheer her up and stuff, and she hears a whistle. And she starts looking around, and then she sees the same girl that Ichigo saw, except she's standing on the edge of a cliff. So Karin decides she's going to go talk to the girl, because she figures she's a ghost, and she tells her she can go and talk to the priest if she needs help with something. And the girl says something about, oh, you can see me, and then Karin responds, and she says, oh, you can hear me too. And I think says, you'll be particularly delicious or something like that. Something about eating her, I think. And that's the end of the chapter. So this is the big like backstory for Ichigo and stuff. I think Kubo did a good job with characterization here. He gets a lot of shit for not being a good writer and stuff, but I think all of this is fine. This early shit establishing the main characters, I think their backstories are plenty emotional, and you can relate to what they're experiencing and feeling and stuff. You can understand why they're feeling the way they are, and how what's happened to them informed who they are now. I'm not sure why Kubo gets so much shit. But that's it for chapter 20, or chapter 19 rather.